discover what we're talking about today.
What are we talking about
Let's cut to the chase here.
So we got the biscuits in the oven?
We got biscuits in the oven.
Front door open?
Front door's open.
Check.
Is the car running in the driveway before we go to sleep?
Yeah.
All right, cool. We're good to go.
Child up in full effect here. So, ladies and gentlemen.
Welcome to the Burnt Biscuit Gang podcast.
Welcome, everybody.
Talk about things and stuff.
Yeah, we are. So let's get into today's episode.
Let's get into today's episode as we sip on our Casman.
Today we're going to go down the rabbit hole of Trump, Donald J. Trump, not only still the commander-in-chief, but is technically the 17th president and not the 45th
17th president.
Right. Do y'all remember who the 16th president is?
Your mom?
Lincoln.
These nuts. Abraham Lincoln, yep.
Abraham Lincoln.
So technically, this means what this rabbit hole is directing us towards is that Trump is technically the next president after Abraham Lincoln. How is this possible? Well,
Why would you say that Trump is the 17th president? That's insane. Does this sound crazy? He sounds crazy, right? I don't think Trump's the 17th president. He's the 45th. Jonathan, please explain
I
yourself.
think Johnson got hold of those whippets on commercial break.
all right.
You were telling me before the show, like kind of a general overview of stuff that was going on. So what was that you were saying to me before the show?
All right.
Go.
Today, we're going to go down the rabbit hole of Donald Trump, not only still the commander-in-chief, but is technically the 17th president and not the 45th. So we'll discuss how this ties into the global shadow government, or deep state, and the Federal Reserve, the IMF, which is the International Monetary
Fund.
Bilderberg Group, the Trilateral Commission, and the Council of Foreign Relations.
Yes. I mean, that's a deep episode right there. So, I mean, but where do we get started on that? You said Trump is the 17th president?
17th president.
How does that work?
So basically, Trump being the 17th president is the follow-up president from the 16th president of the United States, which would be Abraham Lincoln.
1, 2, 3.
Trump being considered as the 17th president, goes along the lines of when the United States of America became a corporation and therefore established the central banking system and ultimately corruption throughout the whole.
I got you. This is a different. I
This is
don't
going
understand why these three executive orders have anything to do with that
1, 2, 3.
because I haven't
So
seen
these executive orders and the Military Justice Act needed to be in place because, like, look at it. So the other presidents that have chose to fight against this, well, the global shadow government,
Sure.
Or the deep state, is basically is going to be Abraham Lincoln was the first. Then we have Ronald Reagan. No, we have John F. Kennedy,
Yes.
Ronald Reagan, and then now Donald Trump. So these four presidents, what they all have in common is assassination, right? Four of them were attempts for assassination.
2 of them were successful attempts.
Right, 2 of them were successful attempts. Those successful attempts being Abraham Lincoln and JFK. But basically how this all ties together is the fact Trump putting in the Military Justice Act, these executive orders, basically lays out the ground for him to be considered the president after Lincoln.
It's a great brainwashing process.
So the president following Lincoln was Andrew Johnson.
Andrew Johnson.
So Johnson assumed presidency following the assassination of Abraham Lincoln, as he was vice president at the time. Johnson was a Democrat who ran with Lincoln on the National Union Party ticket. Coming to office as the Civil War concluded, he favored quick restoration of the seceded states of Union without protection for the newly freed people who were formerly enslaved, as well as pardoning ex-Confederates. This led to conflict with the Republican-dominated Congress, culminating in his impeachment by the House of Representatives in 1868. He was acquitted in the Senate by 1 vote.
That's high speed.
Flash rate.
Use for themselves, or they can sell off and then become funded basically from us.
Right. A lot of that stuff might belong to Hamas right now. Because they're all tied.
Because they're the ones that are in action right now.
Or ISIS or Al-Qaeda.
Yeah,
Or
they're all tied
Houthis.
together.
Maybe that's how they're
they're all cousins.
protecting the Red Sea. Is it the Red Sea? No.
But what does any of this have to do with Donald Trump being the 17th president of the United States? Because we're way off topic. As far as I'm concerned, I have no idea why we're talking about any of this stuff.
So these are supposedly persons involved in serious human rights abuse or corruption.
Right. Yeah.
Internationally. Foreign.
Yeah, those are all foreign actors that are involved in human rights abuse and corruption. So what does that have to do with Trump being the 17th president? Yeah, interesting stuff. I'm still not 100% convinced that Donald Trump is the 17th president of the United States, but I kind of see where we're starting to go a little bit.
Yeah. This might take some more.
Something was going on there during that time where it looks like, and I do understand, I haven't studied a lot of it, but I've definitely heard a lot of conversation around the Civil War not really being about slavery as much as it was about economics.
Right.
And about global economics, and that the
Civil War is about states' rights and the tyrannical government that was overstepping their bounds at times.
So what were some of the other premises that we were going to talk about in the beginning of the show? You said that Trump's the 17th president, but there was something else too, right? If we go back to the original topic of
Still the commander-in-chief.
that
Still
he's
the president.
Still the commander-in-chief and the president. And so how come he got elected and he's legitimate, but none of the other ones are legitimate?
Because he were the ones that put the Military Justice Act and these executive orders into place.
He can't put those into place if he's not elected legitimately. So how? But I'm saying, what breaks the
So
chain?
that's a
of
great question.
How did he get into the presidency?
I have no answer for you right now. I'm gonna do more research on this, tie it all together, and have some resources
Yeah.
to refer to. But like I said, man, I just noticed. Yeah. I'm gonna tie it together. This is definitely happening. I got the resources. I just need to get all that shit organized,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna get it down, man. It's because
And don't have ChatGPT shit.
nah, fuck ChatGPT, man. It's only doing.
Like
But
ChatGPT.
so yeah, I'm gonna write this down because look, I think this specific episode needs to be continued after we have this information.
Dun, 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 dun.
Stay tuned. Stay tuned, everybody. We're gonna blow your mind here next week.
The Civil War had something to do with an international business alliance, an international economic alliance that has to do something with what you're talking about around the IMF. Maybe it was not called the IMF at the time. Maybe it was an international banking organization that was referred to as something else. But how did the United States become a corporation? What makes you think that it became a corporation? I don't think it did.
The United States of America is a corporation.
I don't have any reason to believe that. What's the evidence of that?
Okay, then we'll have to do some research and get into that. You don't even know this? So it's like, because it's supposed to be like the United States, but then it's something along the lines of that, like when it was the United States of America is when that became the corporation that it is. I'm gonna have to go back and look at these
Yeah.
and do some research. But you know, the whole thing is like this just came up very recently to me,
Yeah.
and it definitely grabbed a hold of my attention, and I was like,
But mine too, for
we
sure.
need to
This
get
is
down
an
on this.
interesting-
So that's the reason why, you know, I don't have a lot of research on it. I found this shit this morning. And this is what I was going to talk about. I was thinking about talking about Ken Paxton, that whole Michael Berry part thing and stuff like that. But this right here, this is what I want to get to the bottom of. Is a member of a particular state. The 14th Amendment states that all people born or naturalized in the United States are citizens of both the United States and the state they live in. State citizenship is usually only relevant to domestic matters such as tax decisions, eligibility for state benefits, and eligibility for state political offices. State citizenship was a source of contention during the American Civil War when the Union and other states had different views on it. The Constitution doesn't explicitly define the difference between the United States and the states. However, we can jurisdiction or disputed citizens of the United States. This is state citizenship.
Yeah, interesting stuff. I'm still not 100% convinced that Donald Trump is the 17th of the United States, but I kind of see where we're starting to go a little bit.
Yeah. This might take some more.
Something was going on there during that time where it looks like, and I do understand, I haven't studied a lot of it, but I've definitely heard a lot of conversation around the Civil War not really being about slavery as much as it was about economics.
Right.
And about global economics, and that the
Civil War is about states' rights and the tyrannical government that was overstepping their bounds at times.
so
that all plays a part into it.
I think that's where I was going.
Yeah, not 100% on slavery. Like the propaganda that has been pushed us for school that it was all about slavery.
Yes.
which goes very slow, and it's divided in 4 basic stages.
1, 2, 3.
Creek biscuits get charred black, blood,